Heyo,
What's
how's it
up?
going?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening?
It's Bass Now Radio.
Popping.
Thanksgiving edition,
Sure.
sorta. I mean, it's Thanksgiving week.
Are we festive?
Are we festive? I mean, I don't have anything turkey related.
When are we not fair? When are we not?
How
festive?
do you festively? I mean, it's just food.
Yeah.
How do you festively Thanksgiving?
Well,
We could put like a football.
we could dress up like you could dress up. One of us could. Well, you because the long hair could dress up as an Indian, and I could be a pilgrim. That's how we could have been festive.
It's nice. I can die of like some disease.
Yeah.
Make it realistic.
Yeah, and I can starve. Which doesn't look good on me.
Yeah. No, we can't. No.
No.
Yeah. No.
We don't meet-
no
we
festivities.
don't meet the
But we will
qualifications.
acknowledge it's Thanksgiving week.
Yes. So happy Thanksgiving to all, and to all a good Thanksgiving.
I know Thanksgiving
Wrong
for two
holiday.
things: food and spending money, because Black Friday is coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Money will be spent on fishing equipment.
Money would be spent if I had money to spend.
All right, club champion winner.
That doesn't pay well. Club championship, that pays the bills.
Pays the gas for the boat.
It basically pays for the fishing that I've done. It just allows me to fish for free, pretty much. But
Nice.
I'm Lewis,
Right.
by the way, for those who don't know.
I'm Andrew.
So welcome.
Welcome to Bass Now Radio.
Yes.
We got a couple things that finished up this week.
Club dub.
The what? The club dub.
Lewis Club dub.
Lewis's club dub. If you want, if you want to talk about your club dub, which sounded like
I could talk a little bit
it was
about
an
it.
absolute thrilling victory.
I could talk a little bit about the fishing because it was very not good.
Yeah, which is pretty much how it is everywhere. So, but we also had the college bracket finish up, and we had Bassmaster Opens.
Yeah, which I'm really excited to talk about.
There was some reshuffling.
I am very, very excited.
I know there's one thing that you're excited to
talk.
talk about because you texted me about it.
There's a number of things, but yes, there's one thing I'm excited to talk about. There's a number of things I'm excited to talk about. There's one thing I'm a little bit perhaps sad to talk about.
Wow. I'm excited to see what you're sad about.
But big time these next few weeks. I don't know when Lay is coming, but it's soon. I think 2 weeks maybe.
2 weeks.
Yeah. First week of December. Opens. This is like open season. It's like really, I don't think the opens have ever been this.
You kind of dig this like format.
I
of
love
being
it.
late. I could see one problem with it though. And that is the guys that qualify, it doesn't leave very much time to go from
True.
ready to fish opens to ready to fish elite series.
Very true. I think either way, it would have been a really interesting open season, regardless of the fall thing.
Yeah.
Just because the field is so much stronger than it's been. There's a lot of guys that are really trying, that are fishing the opens just to try and get to the elites. There's a lot of guys who failed at that. There's a lot of guys who set out to do it and are in the position to do it. And there's a couple guys who have done it. The centrals are set. Yeah. So the top four from the central, we'll get into all
We
this.
have our
but
peeps.
the top four, we know 4 guys who will qualify for the elites. Doesn't necessarily mean they will fish the elites, but they will qualify.
They're qualified and could potentially.
We also have another classic qualifier from this past open. So yeah. Exciting open stuff.
But we do have our answer to who's fishing for the college series
We do.
in the classic.
The bracket's done.
Bracket's done.
Would you like to you have anything to say about last week's episode
What do you
to
mean?
the people about the on the production level?
Oh, you mean my fail about posting?
Yes.
Yeah, if any of you guys noticed, we were talking about like posting on what was essentially supposed to be Thursday.
Right.
See here, when you upload to YouTube and to our like hub for Spotify and iTunes, it automatically picks the next day.
Yeah.
And so I edited on Wednesday night and uploaded at like 11:30. And it finished uploading at like midnight. But I didn't realize it was midnight, which means it picked the next day.
Right.
So yeah, I get all scrambled, and that's why I was late. In case you want to know, I was on the right day.
Right.
at 11:30, but when it was actually uploaded, it wasn't the right day.
Pod got out. At the end of the day, It got out.
It got out. I hope you all enjoyed our guest star, Tyler.
Yeah, I was gonna say
thank him for being on.
Another big thanks to Tyler. That was awesome. I love seeing him.
We're gonna try having some more guest stars, especially coming in January.
Especially because we can do call-ins now.
We can do call-ins now.
And I'm also very disappointed in Tyler for not showing up to Friendsgiving last night.
Wow.
Yes.
You're calling him out on the
I'm calling him out to the people on podcast. I'm disappointed in you, Tyler. I love you still, but I'm disappointed in you. You're still the most handsome fisherman in bass
He's
fishing.
a busy guy. All right.
No excuses for Friendsgiving.
And we also had, you know what else we're going to talk about?
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to tack on FLW Hartwell.
We do. That did happen.
I know. I tried to like shove it out of my mind because we were supposed to be there, but
yeah, you went low and it bit you in the ass.
Yeah, it did. That's what I've just been either way too high or way too low. So
all around,
it's just all around bad guessing.
And you know what? I think we got to come up with some episode ideas because after like the opens. I mean, I guess it's going to jump pretty quickly into next season, but
well, you know, that's
coming up.
We'll have to pour some drinks and think them out.
Yeah, we also.
I know I got a couple people that want to be on, so we're gonna definitely have some guest stars on.
Good.
So.
There's at Hank Weldon. There's a wonderful episode that we could talk about if you would just announce a certain thing.
Yes. Yeah, let's talk about that before we get into the bracket.
For us.
What is going on with Bass and not releasing the schedule? Some of us have to make plans here.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be nice to know where we're fishing come January.
Or don't even tell me where. Give me a when.
Yeah, so I can keep the days open.
Give me like 2 of the dates that you've already locked down. Let's say you got Lake XYZ and Lake ABC on
this
April 10th and March 10th. You got those 2? How about for the next 2, if you don't have them, say Lake TBD and Lake TBD on dates April 23rd and May 15th. You know?
We wait.
They got to at least have the dates figured out.
I would hope.
And I'd be pissed. You know, I'd be pissed if I was an Elite Series guy too, or an Opens guy.
Yeah.
None of them schedules have come out. I'd be pissed. What? I am pissed.
Because that sounds like you are.
Hell.
So yes, the bracket.
Yeah.
Lake, Trevor McKinney, congrats. Getting the dub.
Yeah.
I think you called that.
Yeah.
I did not. And I also missed the weight on that too. So fantastic.
Yeah.
Me. I think I said like 22 pounds.
It took, I want to say, like between.
Oh, hold on. I got you. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
He won with, I want to say, like 11 pounds on that final day. Shout out to Blake Jackson for putting up a hell of a fight. I mean, I think he had like 10 and a half when Trevor had 11.
So 11 pounds, 11 ounces.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats to him. Like you said, you kind of called that. So
heck yeah.
Hey,
the bracket and the championship, actually.
Yeah. You're on fire with calling stuff.
Clean sweep.
I mean, we're not getting the weights right, but you're picking
at all.
So, the way he was catching him was quite interesting. He did something different each day.
Yeah.
So day 1, he was throwing an underspin. Day 2, jerk bait. Day 3, DT6.
Yeah.
And he essentially followed the fish out, which I thought was super cool.
So yeah. So I watched some of it on Thursday, and I watched more of it on Friday. And it seemed like in the morning he got off to a really good jerk bite, but small, had like 9 pounds, and then he picked up that DT6, like you're saying, and started calling. He'd catch a 2-pounder, a 2.25 pounder, and built up to that 11 pounds.
But he started in the back of a pocket on day 1, and then progressively moved his way out as the fish started to move out of it because of the dropping temperatures.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
That's very cool.
I was like, "That's not every day that you literally see the progression of like a fish migration."
Yeah.
So,
I think Blake Jackson and him were fishing similar areas, because a couple times during live, I would see one of them fishing an area where I was thinking that it looked similar.
Similar.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if it was or not, but potentially we're sharing info. I mean, same team. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, congrats to him. He'll be going fishing the Opens. He'll be fishing the Classic.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Sweet.
well represents the college series.
It's nice to have.
We love it when there's well representation.
Yes, it's nice to have somebody that's not Brian or Bethel.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
I mean, McKendree's a fishing school, but they're not Brian or Bethel, so it's
Yeah.
cool to have somebody different in there.
And it was a given pretty much after Cole and Connor got eliminated that we were going to have.
Yep.
We were going to have a school that isn't just
Hasn't
known for
been there.
fishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool. Congrats. Big congrats.
yeah, big congrats to them. We obviously,
Seemed like fall junk fishing.
yeah,
It seemed like, guys kind of fishing around.
which is just how it's been pretty much everywhere on the East Coast. It's
Yeah.
just been junk fishing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Lovely.
how was your weekend of junk fishing?
My weekend of junk fishing was terrible. Thank you. No,
You want to elaborate on that?
well, as many of us in the Southeast know, there was a huge storm that come through last week. Really muddied up the water kind of everywhere. And last week I went and practiced a little bit over at Baden, which was day one of the tournament. And it was pretty good. I got a couple solid bites, some shorts. There was bait everywhere. And I went back there to where I was kind of seeing a lot of bait, a lot of fish. And right off the bat, I mean, I lost one about 2.5 at the boat. I saw one about keeper, 15-incher, cruising the bank. Then I caught one about a 2.5, and I was like, I'm in them. And it seemed like the second that sun come up, it died. Here's what's weird. Before the sun come up, there was no bait. The creek was dead, but the fish were biting.
Yeah.
The sun came up, the bait started flickering everywhere, getting chased,
And the fish stopped eating.
and they stopped biting.
Interesting.
I almost think that the sun allowed them to key in on the shad, and what happened was I think that so many shad being in that creek pulled them off the bank, because I was catching them in the morning flipping.
Yeah.
And I think they were on the bank in the morning when the shad weren't active. The shad got active. They got pulled off the bank. I couldn't target them as well. And the water was so muddy that it was hard to cover water.
Yeah.
The way to catch them, I thought, was, it was like terribly muddy, like 4 inches
You were
clarity.
flipping in like 4 inches of water.
Yes, I was flipping on the bank and putting my bait next to stuff.
Yeah.
Just hoping that he was sitting there.
Yeah.
And that's how I got what? I lost that one at the boat. I caught that one. I missed one flipping that probably would have went about 3 pounds. And my buddy Michael, stud, out of the back of the boat. We were in another pocket that had a ton of bait in it, and they were busting everywhere. Could not get them to bite. And he just tossed a red crankbait out there. One hook, back of the gill. Got him. So
Unbelievable.
yeah. So we had 2 fish for 4.5 pounds in our 7-boat championship, and went into day 2 with the half-pound lead. So it
Really
was
crushing it.
bad. We had 5 keeper bass weighed in on day 1 in 7 boats. And Norman was pretty dang bad as well on day 2. Our buddy Sam caught some stud spots, coming with 11 pounds, but couldn't make up the difference. And myself and our second place guys, Trey and Austin, had about the same weight, so we barely edged them out. And I caught all my fish in 30 feet of water,
Yeah.
which is something I do not do on Norman. So weird stuff. these days.
Weird stuff.
That's my weekend though.
Yeah, I don't know. The water temps just need to like level out or something.
Yes.
I don't know what the deal is.
I think what happened was there was a nice cold week, and then Saturday
It got warm.
was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. It was 70 degrees, warm night. Like just
Yeah,
weird.
just if anyone doesn't live, well, I'm gonna assume that most of you don't live in North Carolina. The weather here in North Carolina has been. I wore flip flops last weekend.
I'm wearing flip flops now.
Snowboarded in the middle of the week.
Yep.
And was wearing like winter jackets, and then by the weekend I was back in flip flops.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's how the weather's been here. It's been nutty.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rain doesn't help.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we got some serious rain. In fact, I was joking with some people at UNC Charlotte. I don't know if you drove through campus recently, but there was like a legit pond on one of the rec fields. And I was
Really?
like, wow, it's really nice of you guys to build us a practice pond.
Yeesh.
I was like, that's a lot of water.
I will also say, for any of you who plan on tournament directing for a club at any point in your life, don't let your tournament contenders go out when it's foggy and there's a lot of stuff floating around in the lake. Don't do that. I did that, and I'm not proud that I did that. It was really sketchy.
No one hit anything, though.
No one hit anything. I mean, I hit things, but nothing substantial.
Nothing substantial to take off all over you.
Really sketchy.
Yeah, Baden gets sketchy when there's a lot of rain.
And a lot of fog. I mean, I could see the other side of that room.
Yeah.
I was running about 15 miles an hour, like barely on plan.
Yeah.
Barely. And there were a couple times where I just got off and idled through, and it was like I felt like I was on Toledo Bend. Like it was dunk, 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 dunk. It was bad. Really bad. So
Nice.
yeah.
That sounds like a heck of a weekend.
You didn't miss much.
I'm glad.
You really didn't miss much. I mean, I fished my best stuff yesterday till about 1 o'clock and come away with 4 fish for about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'd like to consider myself an okay fisherman on Norman. And when it's like that, it's not somewhere you want to be fishing at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna be shore fishing for a little while. So be back in tournaments for Bassmaster.
Good.
Getting the boat right.
Good. I've been there. You know, I've
getting a
been
bunch
there.
of stuff fixed.
You know, I've been there.
Well,
Open time.
let's talk about the opens.
Open time, baby.
The real big, just absolute, probably craziest news of like the season so far has been the interesting storylines of the opens.
Yeah, I agree. The first thing I'll say, which is kind of embarrassing, is I have no idea who won this tournament off the top of my head.
Wow, look at the preparation.
I could probably tell you who's in the top 4 in points, but I couldn't tell you who won. All right. So, Bassmaster Open on Louisville Lake in Tejas. Tommy Williams won it with a total 3-day wait of 41.13. Bad. I mean, this tournament was bad.
Once again, it doesn't seem to matter where you are right now. I with the exception of being California, because I've seen some big fish caught in California recently, but it just sucks everywhere.
It's bad. I'm sure it's good up north because it's cold, but other than that,
I don't even think it's good up north.
I've heard it's good.
I haven't seen it.
Heard good things.
I've seen guys catching fish out of the ice in like Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you guys are ice fishing already, huh?
Yeah. My buddy Trey, who spent the weekend at our place, is good friends with KJ Queen, and said that KJ said it was just
trash,
horrible. Like just you couldn't get a bite. Just terrible fishing. I want to say there were I remember looking at this the other day. There were 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2. This is great podcasting. 3.
Not a lot of limits.
Wait. In the 3-day tournament, and obviously only 12 guys fished the 3rd day. In the 3-day tournament, there were 3 people who weighed in 2 limits.
That's just terrible.
Yes. Nobody weighed in more than 13 bass for 3 days. And 2 people did that.
That's insane.
Awful. Terrible fishing.
Just trash fishing right there.
Tommy Williams won. He had 18.5 on day 1, 15.5 on day 2, and then 3 fish for almost 8 pounds on day 3. He won by about 1.5 pounds. Brandon Hollingshead had 2 fish for 7 pounds day 1, 5 for 20.12 day 2, and 5 for 12.10 on day 3.
He got him on day 2. How about that?
Yeah. And Brandon Dillard, the guy who had 24.9 on day 1, had 2 fish day 2, 1 fish day 3, and finished only 10 pounds back in 6th place. He weighed in 8 bass and finished in 6th place.
Nice.
Terrible. Of some note, Brian New finished 4th. Greg Hackney finished 5th.
Keith Combs 11th.
Keith Combs 11th. Now, one storyline to this tournament was that Brandon Dillard, who led on day number 1 with 24 pounds, he is a local. He's a guide on this lake. If he had won the tournament, he fished none of the other opens. he would not have qualified for the Classic, which would open up another Classic spot for a 1, Keith Combs. Keith Combs is currently the first man out, and he has one last shot at making it to the Classic at Lay. Somebody who's either in it already or fished it one open and not the rest or something like that would have to win for Keith Combs to make it to the Classic.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's the first big storyline of this tournament. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very. What else do we have? So congrats to Tommy Williams. I think he fished all 4. He'll be at the Classic. So good for him. Now, for the juice, the Opens AOY stuff.
The juice.
This is when things get fun. This is what I've been excited about.
So are we talking about Hack Attack?
Yes. The Central Opens are done. The top 4 have qualified for the Elite Series, and they're going. They are Jason Christie, MLF Pro, Greg Hackney, MLF Pro, Kenta Kimura, longtime Opens Pro, and Mark Frazier, the brother of Micah. In 5th place, out by 4 points, tied are Daryl Gleason and Paul Browning. Daryl Gleason fished the Classic last year. He won Toledo Bend. Paul Browning, I don't know as well, but he's a name in the Opens. So 2 guys right there knocking on the door. I think Daryl Gleason still has a shot in that next Open, but going to be tough.
And if one of them MLF guys decides not to go.
True.
Does it drop or no?
I don't believe it does. I think they offer 4 spots in each division.
And if they don't accept,
they don't accept.
Go down.
I think. I could be wrong. So there you have it. Jason Christie and Hackney. It's worth noting that in the blog, and I want to say day 1 or day 2, I think day 2, Hackney said to the cameraman, I got to catch 5 bass today. And if I do, I'll qualify for the Elite Series, which is what I've been trying to do, fishing the Central Opens.
So he's coming back.
He's coming back. Greg Hackney has said he is coming back. Of course, he could change his mind. He said he's coming back.
Yeah. Now, what about Christie?
Christie, I would assume he fished all 8 Opens this year. So I would assume that's the interesting thing about Hackney to me is that he only fished the Centrals. And
so he probably wasn't
it paid
sold
out.
on coming back. He's like, well, let me see what happens.
Or he said, I'm just going to go and run this real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know how ballsy.
So that's it. A couple of MLF guys jumping over.
Yeah.
So now what was the shakeup for our overall?
So your overall points, let's go look. There were a couple ball droppers, one of which Scott Martin. Scott Martin is in 11th place. He's not going to qualify based off of overall points, I don't believe. Well, I mean, it's possible. But currently, what do we got here? We have Jason Christie still in first place overall Opens.
That's
a double qualification.
So that would drop down.
He either doesn't have to fish lay, or I don't know what his plans. I'm sure he will fish lay. Maybe try and make the Classic.
Yeah.
Mark Frazier, another double qualifier. So that opens up spots. I want to say it opens up spots in.
They work down the AOY.
I think they what happens is they'll take the top 4 guys from the overall points, and then from there they'll go down. So if Christie and Frazier stay in the 1 and 2, Gleason and Browning might get their spots in the Centrals. It's very confusing.
Yes.
But I think that's how it works.
Okay.
Of note is Brian New, who did well in this tournament, moved up in the 3rd place. Matt Robertson, 4th place. So as of right now, he's qualified. Justin Atkins, 5th place. As of right now, he's on the bubble. And KJ Queen is 6th place, and he's about 30 points back. Justin Atkins is 5 points back of Matt Robertson. That top 5 is very tight. So that's going to be an interesting shakeup. In the event, and I'm not sure of this, in the event that they just automatically take those 4 guys from the Centrals, this becomes very interesting. Christie and Frazier qualify. So you go to your top 4 being Brian New, Matt Robertson, Justin Atkins, KJ Queen. If Kenta Kimura does well at lay and moves up, that will move to Brandon Palaniuk, who's already qualified, which will move to this guy, Joel Willard. So potentially the 9th place guy could qualify.
Okay. So is Scott Martin officially out, or how's he doing on the East?
No. Scott Martin, I believe, is still in the top 4 in the Eastern Opens. So this is what we have to look forward to in the Eastern Opens. Patrick Walters is in first place. Assuming he fishes lay, he's 30 points up on 3rd place and 40 points up on 4th place. So assuming he fishes lay and does okay, Patrick Walters will stay in the top 2.
But that doesn't matter.
No, because so what that means is this is probably going to open up a top 5, an outside of the top 4 spot.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, none of the guys who are qualified in the Centrals or in the overalls are qualified in, or even close to qualifying in the Easterns, with the exception of Brian New, who's in 10th place. He's 80 points back of first. So Patrick Walters, Elite Series, he don't have to go. He doesn't have to. His spot will move down. So that would make Timmy Tompkins, as of right now, in it. Pat Schlapper just won the nation championship. Automatically qualified for the Elite Series. Opens up another spot, which is 6th place, Justin Atkins.
Yeah.
Who, if he does well, is going to qualify in the overall points, which moves down to 7th place. It could get...
There's a lot of shuffling.
There's a lot of shuffling to go on in one tournament. I love this stuff.
All eyes are on Lay Lake.
I love this stuff. All eyes should be on Lay Lake. That was a long explanation of what's going on.
That's a good explanation, though.
But I am excited.
It's really cool. I love that the Open is like as contested as it is.
I agree.
Makes things interesting.
Double drink break.
Yeah, well, yeah, after that long explanation,
I know.
I needed something to wet my throat.
Me too.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to think about, but
I agree. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch Lay. They better have cameras on day 3 because that's, I mean, well, not really. Day 2 is going to be, that day 2 weigh-in is going to determine a lot of guys' fates.
Yeah.
And worth noting, this should have been Oneida Lake.
Yeah.
In August. This should have been Hartwell in September.
It was originally on Hartwell?
Mm-hmm. It was, I think it was Kissimmee, Cherokee in May, Oneida in August, Hartwell in September. They left Hartwell, exactly where it was at, took Cherokee, moved it after Hartwell, and moved Oneida to Lay after Cherokee.
I don't know. Maybe they should probably just go back to Oneida. This might be better than Lay at this
that
point.
Would be fun.
Be cold, but probably better.
Fun. They might not be having tournaments in New York still. I'm not sure what their
I know what they're doing.
Their rules are, but really interesting stuff. I love this. This is very exciting for me. This is great stuff.
You're getting excited.
Great stuff. So, in college relevance, I think the only recent college guy, I'm not sure if Mark Frazier fished college or not. It's probably something I should know. Brian New, I don't believe, fished college. I want to say Justin Atkins might have.
He did, yeah.
I think he did. But in recent college
years
names, KJ Queen looks like the only one who has a legitimate shot of getting there.
Where's our previous college national championship winner at?
Cody Huff is who you're referring to.
Yes.
He is in 27 in points in the overall opens.
That's respectable.
Yeah, very. In the Easterns, he is in 41st. In the Centrals, he is in...
Got to be higher. He's in 27th, right? I guess not. Oh, you're doing a lot of scrolling. A lot of scrolling.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Scott Martin's in 64th in the Centrals right now.
No, he is 64th. It's done.
94th for Cody Huff in the Centrals.
Oof.
That's where he got hurt.
The Western swing killed him.
That's where he got hurt bad. Interesting, considering he won on Toledo Bend and in Missouri, which are two Central Lakes.
Two Central Lakes, yeah. Just struggled.
Yeah. Dakota Ibar finished in 76th in the Centrals. I'm not sure how he did overall. KJ finished in 19th. Yeah.
Well, a lot of good stuff happening.
Opens is exciting, man. I'm loving it. Do you want to hear why I'm sad?
Yes, please.
So a Bass fan came out with an article
Yes.
about the Bass Pro Tour.
Yes.
Tour.
No, definitely tour for them.
Tour. John Cox is out of the Elite Series. It's not what I'm sad about, but he is out of the Elite Series. Interesting. I think the problem was John Cox, being John Cox, wanted to fish the Elite Series and the Bass Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Because of scheduling conflicts, he couldn't do that. There were Elite Series schedule conflicts with the Bass Pro Tour and with the Toyota Series.
The Toyota Series.
Yeah, because he would have fished that, or the FLW Tackle Warehouse.
The Pro Circuit.
Yeah, sure. Whatever that is. Instead, John Cox is fishing both the Bass Pro Tour and the Pro Circuit. So John Cox out of the Elite Series, fishing the Bass Pro Tour. Imagine being so good that you could just go where you wanted.
But that's not why you're sad.
Huh?
But that's not why you're sad.
It is not. 5 pros have announced that they are leaving the Bass Pro Tour.
Okay.
5.
Hackney.
Greg Hackney.
Christie.
Jason Christie. Jacob Porosnik. I don't know if he's in qualifying position or not. He might just be fishing the Opens again next year because I know he fished him this year. And Justin Atkins.
Who is on the bubble.
There's a 5th name. Would you like to take a guess at it?
I'm trying to think who.
Okay.
But this name makes you sad.
Mm-hmm. Because there's no promise that this person will be fishing anywhere after they drop out of the Bass Pro Tour.
So it's not a legend exemption.
No, they can. They have this person has a legend exemption to fish the Bassmaster Elite Series.
So Ike.
Yes. He's contemplating Elite Series or retirement.
Ooh.
Those are his options, and he has officially dropped out of the Bass Pro Tour.
I could see that coming, though.
Yes.
I could see it coming.
Yes. So there you have it. If Ike retires, I will be sad.
You will be sad.
The only MLF any footage I have watched in the last 2 years has been Ike and Ellie freakout videos. It's it. It's it. I pay attention to that man religiously. I love him. And if he does not fish, I will be sad. I will understand it. The last thing he needs to be doing right now is competing. He has sufficient funds, I believe.
He does plenty of other stuff.
Do what he does. I haven't watched much of his other stuff because I love watching him compete. And I'm really interested to hear if he has some stuff coming out about it. I will mention this. In typical Ike and Ellie fashion, I'm not sure if you saw this Instagram post. He had a huge announcement to make on the last Ike Live podcast. And was huge announcement coming. And he was sitting there. The announcement was that he was moving to AFCO. He's going to wear AFCO clothing. That's his new clothing sponsor, whatever.
Yeah.
That was the big announcement. But the whole announcement was made with the Bassmaster Classic trophy behind him.
Epic.
Typical Ike and Ellie fashion. Yeah.
Awesome.
You know my story with...
I hope he comes back.
I do too. You know my story with the decision, right? Did I ever tell you that?
I don't think so.
So you remember back when they were all making their decisions?
Yeah.
On whether to fish MLF or Bass?
And everyone had a video.
Yes.
What am I going to do?
So Ike and Ellie did it on the podcast. He did a 5-hour podcast. and high school me stayed up all night watching. I was so mad. It's the only time I've ever been mad at Ike and He did this 5-hour podcast, right? Whole long thing, long spiel, talking about this and interviews and the whole nine. End of the podcast, he goes, all right, it's time for the announcement. I will reveal that this next year, I will be fishing with screen goes black, technical difficulty shows up. That was
amazing. Amazing.
I was so bad.
See, I would have died laughing. I would have been like, ha!
Yeah.
I get it.
It's the most Ike and Ellie thing ever done.
That shouldn't surprise you.
I know. I was a young kid. I was a senior in high school. I didn't know what was going on. I was so excited to find out what I was hoping he'd come back.
Well, yeah, there's a lot going on.
We're
excited for Lay. That's going to be a really big, interesting tournament. And hopefully we'll have a video coming out soon.
Yes.
With a schedule.
Yes.
For the college series.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Enjoy your family time.
Yeah, enjoy your family time.
Relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Do some fishing.
Hope you get some good Black Friday deals.
Hopefully fishing gets good soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice, huh?
I think some of you northern guys are enjoying good fishing. The rest of us are not.
And the rest of us are just...
part of the reason why I'm going there.
Yeah.
This will be the last in-person episode for a while.
For a little while, yeah.
A good while.
We're going virtual.
Unless you're coming on down.
Yeah, or you're coming up.
True. Ice fishing.
There's not ice in Rhode Island. Calm down now. It's going to be a while. It was like 60 degrees or something the other day there. I was like, oh, that's... Usually I'm like playing pond hockey, but...
not ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed.
Have a great week. Enjoy this podcast.
Eat a lot of food.
Say hi to a friend.
Show this podcast off to your family members during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Get them listening.
Share.
Yeah, share, like.
Do whatever you do in the virtual world.
The virtual world.
The virtual.
We appreciate you listening.
World.
Tight lines over Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace out, folks. Thank you.